Audrey Hepburn is one of the most famous faces in classical Hollywood cinema. Born to Dutch aristocracy, Hepburn would lead a long-lasting cinematic career as one of the leading actresses in the Western world. She was nominated for a number of high-ranking awards during her career, including being ranked as the third greatest female actress from the classical Hollywood era by the American Film Institute, recognized for a number of famous 1950s and 60s films, such as Funny Face, Sabrina, and Breakfast at Tiffany's, as well as her long history with UNICEF. Hepburn is truly one of Hollywood's most dynamic and recognized names. However, there's another reason why she's so well regarded even until this day. Hepburn has been a major fashion icon since her early beginnings, and her wardrobe has been a source of inspiration for millions around the world. Hepburn wore a wide variety of very distinct and unique pieces, fabrics, and styles across her career, both in and out of Hollywood, and it's not hard to see how her legacy became such an influential one in fashion. And as such, it's only fair that we take a look at the different styles and trends that made her so fashionable. Hepburn, being a member of Western European aristocracy, had a very distinctly luxurious style that showed itself throughout the projects she worked on. The first film I'd like to look at is Breakfast at Tiffany's from 1961. The film was a romantic comedy about an eccentric member of the 1960s cafe society who finds herself falling in love with a struggling writer. The film won 2 Academy Awards and is considered one of the most important and significant films in American history. The movie starred Audrey Hepburn as its main character, and in the film she wears some of her most iconic outfits, specifically her sleeveless black Givenchy dress. Following a partnership with the designer in 1953, Hepburn and Givenchy would work together on her projects up until her death in 93. The two would become very close friends, and he would design some of her most famous outfits, including the black dress in Breakfast at Tiffany's. The dress, a black cocktail gown, makes an appearance in the film's opening scene and tells a lot about her character. It's a long satin dress and is a modern interpretation of Coco Chanel's 1920s little black dress, a style that is to this day still popularly redone in pop culture. The dress became an iconic one and a hallmark of Hepburn's long career in the entertainment industry, and to this very day she's still remembered by it. The dress seen in the film is actually a different one than Givenchy's original version of the dress, which she wears in the film's promotional material. This one is shorter and more traditionally cut in terms of length and style, however it's still very much similar and all the same iconic. On the topic of dresses, Givenchy's little black dress is not the only iconic Givenchy gown that Hepburn would wear. At the 1954 Oscars, Audrey Hepburn would go on stage to accept her award as Best Actress for her role in 1953's romantic comedy film Roman Holiday. During the awards ceremony, Hepburn would wear one of her most famous dresses to date. She sported a cropped haircut and a white lace Givenchy dress, belted by the waist, and made up of floral fabrics. This not only became one of her most iconic dresses, but also one of the most famous looks in Oscars history. Of course, dresses were not the only fashionable pieces Hepburn was known for. She also helped push and popularize many different styles across mid-century America and England. One of these was the black turtleneck sweater, an item she wore often and in some of her most iconic moments, such as in the film Funny Face. Funny Face, which premiered in 1957, was another romantic comedy starring Hepburn alongside Fred Astaire. In one scene in the film, she wears a black ensemble made up of a polo turtleneck, a pair of black cropped pants, and a pair of black loafers, which she sported in many of her most popular outfits. Similar to this garment, she also wore a fully black ensemble in the 1954 film Sabrina. This time, however, the clothing choices were slimmer black separates, which she wore alongside ballet flats. The style would swiftly become one of her more iconic wardrobe choices. Cropped pants, in fact, were one of the most famous styles of the mid-century that she helped significantly in popularizing, such as in the 1956 film War and Peace. As I quickly mentioned earlier, Hepburn often sported a waist belt, such as in the Oscars. Oscars. In fact, in her famous movie appearance, the 1953 film Roman Holiday, throughout the movie's famous scenes, she would sport a white blouse and long skirt cinched at the waist using a belt. The outfit had a very European style aesthetic, and it worked out really well in the movie. There were, of course, smaller outfit elements like accessories that Hepburn would popularize across the rest of her career, such as straw hats and headscarves, both of which she sported very often. Her iconic headscarf style makes an appearance in many of her films, including 1963's Charade, in which she wears a mainly ivory ensemble made up of a trench coat, leather gloves, and a silk scarf. She also sported her famous headscarf during her wedding to Italian psychiatrist Andrea Dotti in 1969. Here she wore a pastel pink mini dress that featured a high neckline, cinched waist, flared sleeves, and a pink silk scarf of the same color. As the years continued, Hepburn's style would shape and take on a much simpler, refined look. In her latter years, such as in the 1989 film Always, her final film, in the movie she sports a white cable knit sweater and white slim cropped pants. This outfit was representative of her fashion sense at the time, simple yet classy. It fit the 1980s style well, but also retained the modern luxury that she was known for. And that's what makes Hepburn such a fashionable figure, her modern, luxurious style. No matter what era she lived in, Audrey Hepburn consistently remained one of the major figures in Western fashion for the time period due to her style. Simplism yet forward-focused extravagance was always her main theme, and it was reflective of her personality as both an actress and a character. During her career, Audrey Hepburn was and will forever remain one of fashion's most famous names, and her legacy in the design world lives on as a major source of inspiration for millions.